Calgary Flames versus Dallas Stars.
Ooh, yeah, that's one.
This was a game where it was very low scoring game. Um, but what made this a much more intriguing story for game one of the Flames and Stars was the altercation at the end of the first period between Matthew Tkachuk and Michael Raffl. To me, the game wasn't exciting. It was all one zip, which the only person that scored in the game was obviously on Calgary Flames side was um
Elias
Elijah.
Lindholm.
Yeah, Lindholm.
Yeah,
He scored the game's only goal, and but the player of the game was the goalie Jacob Markstrom. He only has 16 saves.
yeah,
16 saves. And if you're Dallas, you have to be embarrassed because it's like, wow,
and
16
and
saves
that's
on.
yeah, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Mike, but I think that's one of the things that that Dallas has been lacking. If it's not Rope Hintz or Jason Robertson or Pavelski scoring, where is Tyler Sagan? Where is Jamie Benn? Where is Klimber? You know what I mean? These guys only had one shot. Their first shot of the game came, I believe, after during the 7 minute mark of the first period. So 13 minutes have passed and you still haven't gotten a shot on goal. And you only got your shots on goal were three in the first, 10 in the two, and three in the third again. Where is the shot attempts at for Dallas? They went 0 for 5 on the power play as well. God knows how many shots they got off on those power plays if there wasn't too many shots being taken by them. But the fact that you're not taking too many shots attempts very early on in a playoff game, this is do or die out here. You have to, get nitty and gritty. And like I mentioned to you, if it's not Rope Hintz or Roberson or Pavelski involved in these plays, where's the rest of the team at? Um, Jacob Markstrom, like I mentioned to you again, he was also the goaltender leader in the league in shutouts. And here we are in game one of round one with a shutout. Given he didn't, stop so many shots, but there were certain shots and we are like, holy crap, he saved that. You know what I mean? Um, Elias Lindholm, he's coming out from a breakout year. 82 points, 42 goals, 40 assists. He's never done it in his career. And for him to be the lone scorer here, he got assisted by Matthew Tkachuk and Mr. Johnny Hockey, Johnny Godot. So expect Johnny to score more in this series. But then again, I think it was a more tick for tack kind of game as opposed to a well balanced played hockey game. I think those are things that led to fights. If people get pissed. Then again, Matthew Tkachuk, he's not the most easiest opponent to play against. He's also a pest as well. So it's gonna lead to a lot of scrums from here on out.
That's playoff hockey. I mean, I feel that it's been 2 days already of playoff hockey, and we've seen fights with the Lightning and Maple Leafs,
Oh
the
yeah,
even the Penguins and Rangers in the first period, and now with Calgary and Dallas. I'm probably missing more, but we're seeing several altercations early on the postseason. I guess the
mm-hmm.
excitement and they're feeding off the crowd because I feel that um, when it comes to playoff time, there's no sport that is crazy and from a fan standpoint than hockey. Hockey fans are insane in the postseason. So I feel that the players are feeding off of that. And that's what's pumping them up even more to
Mm-hmm.
have these fights. But yeah, as for the Calgary Flames, they had more shots on goal, more face-offs, and delivered more hits than the Dallas Stars. So those
Mm-hmm.
are three big areas that they were able to surpass them in game one. The Dallas Stars, they did went 0 for 5 in power play. The Flames went 1 for 5. Not so well, but at least they got that one goal, which turned out to be enough. But this was more of both goalies, they stepped up. The
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Stars goalie, Jake, he had 25 saves. What stole the headlines of this game was the fight between Matthew Tkachuk and and Michael Raffl,
Yeah.
and those other scrimmages that happened right afterwards as well. That was the most exciting part of that game one.
Yeah, and I still think Calgary, of course, I had Calgary in this series. We could see a sweep if Dallas doesn't get it together. Um, that crowd in Calgary, like you mentioned, I don't think no other crowd beats any other crowd when it comes to playoffs. Um, yeah, and like you said, the players are going to be feeding off this, so you got to bring your A game, no matter what game it is, no matter where you lead in the series. You got to bring your A game until that final game that you're racing that 35-pound trophy. That's my theory on it all.
The Dallas Stars management need to call Mike Modano and Brett Hall.
Get some
um,
grittiness down there, man. What's going on? And shout out to Gaultier too, because he held them in. Dallas goaltender, he held them in. But again, if you're not scoring goals, man, you're not gonna get nowhere. And people say defense wins championships. Well, in hockey, good goaltending wins championships, but you also got to help them out in the scoring areas.